Hi Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher. I think my camera is crooked. I think my table's crooked actually. I think my table might be warped. It looks like I'm on a little bit of an angle here. Let's see if I can adjust that. Sorry. Hi, and welcome back to anybody who's returning to my channel, and welcome to my new subscribers. I didn't post a video last weekend. I wasn't feeling good actually from the weekend and into the week. I had a migraine, and that's really rare for me actually. It's probably about only the third migraine headache I've had in the last 10 years, and I am a denier, and I'll go, oh no, I'm just have a headache. And I stayed at work, and I shouldn't have. I went to work on, I think it was the Tuesday, Wednesday, I can't remember which day. Anyway, I wasn't feeling good, and I missed some days of work, and didn't treat the migraine soon enough, and then it got the better of me, and I was pretty sick for a couple of days. So, yeah, and certainly didn't want to make a video last weekend. I might not do weekly videos. Because I'm finding that, I don't know if you like them when they're short, or would you rather that I waited until I had more to talk about, or maybe more progress to show? Do you want to see weekly videos? Give me some ideas of some topics that I could talk about, and we'll see how it goes into the summer. Sorry, the light is really bad today. It's cloudy, but it is definitely spring, and the snow is all melting, and yesterday was sunny. I should have done the video yesterday. But I do have a flower garden in the summer too, so I like spending time out in my garden, and that takes into some of my cross-stitching time. Once things are planted and I have things arranged the way they are, and I'm just tending to the garden, I do like to sit out there to do some cross-stitching, so if I do some Stitch With Me videos, I might actually do one outside. I don't know, we'll see. Thank you to those who reached out to ask me if I was okay last weekend when I didn't post a video. That was very thoughtful. And thank you everybody for the suggestions of where to find the WIP dye, Michaels, in the t-shirt section, like where they have the t-shirt and the painting, like clothing painting stuff. Anyway, I did buy the brown. I haven't dyed the fabric yet, again, because I wasn't feeling very well, so I want to be able to do a good job when I do it, follow the instructions, and with that headache, the brain just wasn't working right, so I haven't actually dyed the fabric yet, but I'll let you know how it turns out. The Twisted Sisters talked about the stitchy spot. So I had commented to them that, no, the Addicted Sisters. Sorry, I said it wrong. They talked about stitchy spots. So I do have a stitchy spot in my living room. It's right by my big picture windows, or sliding glass, the balcony doors there. And that's how, when I do my flower garden in the summer, I kind of set it up so that I have a beautiful view from my stitching spot there. And then I do sometimes stitch in my bedroom in the evening if I feel like doing some little things, or but then I just stitch in bed. So I want to get a chair for in my bedroom, and actually like a little end table and a lamp and everything, so that I can do some stitching in there in the evening. The TV, I have a HD TV in my bedroom, which is better, and watching Game of Thrones on the HD, so I prefer that, watching on that TV, the big TV. So I did watch a lot of Flosstube though in this past week. I met some new people, caught up on a whole bunch of people. There's a whole bunch that I'm actually right up to date on. That's what my plan is, to get caught up, so that on Saturdays and Sundays when I sit down, I just watch what's new being posted. The weekly Christmas ornaments, I've got the two. I've got the little Santa face and the little cardinal. Christmas birds, I call those. Oh. I did frame myself these little Thomas Kincaid pictures of 2 FFOs, fully finished objects. Let's see. This one I like. This lamplit bridge vignette. This one, lamppost vignette. I don't like it nearly as much as I like this one, which has less stitching in it. I overdid it on this one. I thought if the more I put in, the nicer it would be, and I actually don't think it looks as nice as when it's letting it kind of less in there and let some more of the stamping show up. So good lesson for that because I do have a couple more Thomas Kincaids that I'm going to be working on, so I'll try and remember to not make them too cluttered. So when I was here last, I was starting on the Donna Dewberry Rosebud Wreath. This is a really old little kit that I had. 2002. Anyway, so I got a little bit more done on that. This one has a lot of fractional stitches, which are fine. I use the sharp needle when I'm doing on the Aida fabric with the fractional stitches. So I find that stitching takes me longer when I use a sharp needle because you have to be so much more precise and place the sharp needle exactly where you need it. Excuse me. Then I wanted to work on a stitch in time for one weekend this month. Doing that challenge with Terry Lee from Terry Lee Crafts, the Stitch in Time Race to the Middle challenge. So I was working, I started on the bottom corner, so I'm starting here. And I was going to do the first row of pages across the bottom. And then I realized that I might as well, instead of just doing part of it, I might as well do the whole winter panel. So it's spring, summer, fall, winter. So instead of just doing part of the winter panel, I'm going to work the winter panel all the way to the top and then work my way across the entire winter, and then I'll start on the autumn one and go across that way. I think that makes more sense, and it's because it's carrying on from the page that's below it, carries on into the page above. I'm sure they all do that, but this one just seems to be making more sense to me if I do the two pages together. So I did get a bigger magnetic board so I could put the pages. So this is, I had been working across and I was working on two pages at the same time, and now I'm more focused on just finishing this partial page here, and then this is the second page, and I think this is where the color changes up here because these symbols are all starting to look different up in here than the symbols that are down in here. So I did make some pretty good progress. I didn't only do it on the weekend though, I worked on it through the week when I was feeling well enough. Like I said, my brain wasn't working well and I didn't want to have to switch to a different project because my brain was kind of already on this one. I don't know if you've noticed that, but different designs, different fabrics, different colors, different symbols, all of that. Each one has its own kind of personality. And so when I switch from one thing to another, especially if it's starting something that's a brand new kit that I was planning on starting this week, I have to adjust a bit. I have to adjust my thinking a bit to see the way the pattern is laid out, get to know the symbols, get to know the colors kind of thing. So I just kept working on that one, and then I'll show you how much I got done. So all of this aqua in here, and I filled in all of this. So that's pretty good progress, I think. That was a week's worth. Now I'm good with putting this one away for a while now. Worked on that one. So on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday now, I can't remember, whichever, March 20th was the first day of spring. And so I wanted to start on a new project. And this one's going to be a gift. This is the Dimensions Gold Chickadees and Lilacs. This is by Rosemary Millette. And it's the Dimensions Gold that has the half stitches and the varying number of strands and that to give it more texture. Excuse me. So this is, I think, the third gold dimensions that I'm working on. So I have the Fall Fairy. Where is she? Fall Fairy and Winter Enchantress. And I did color copies of them, and I was highlighting with yellow. This is the Winter Enchantress. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm highlighting it with yellow because I didn't want to do the pink because that was going to cover up. It was going to hide the green, I think. All the different back stitches are in different colors. And as I'm getting down to the final few stitches in an area, having a really hard time seeing on this, on that yellow, to be able to distinguish where the next ones are. So I actually went to Staples and I got those ones recopied. I made 2 color copies of each, and for the Chickadees and Lilacs I did 2 color copies. So what I'm doing is back to my my usual highlighting out what needs to be done with yellow and then what is completed with the pink. And then once, because the other symbols stand out much better against the pink, to make it easier to see. And then the second, when I'm finished it, the second colored copy that I use, I will use to go through and do all the back stitching with, because that will be a clean copy and I can just highlight out the back stitches as I work on those. So I'm working in the bottom left corner as I always do. I didn't start on this one on Wednesday, I just kept working on a stitch in time because I didn't want to switch. So I did start on this one yesterday. So that's how far I got yesterday and today. And watching a lot of Flosstube, so I got quite a bit done. Plans for this week. I'm going, okay, so I did small, extra large. So now I'm to medium. So I'm going to be doing the Christmas Goose, which is a Jan Lynn, an old, this is an old kit that I had from 1984. That's really old. Anyway, so I don't have very much progress done on this one. Let's see which way it goes here. I think it goes this way. So I'll see how far I can get on this one. Working on this one in the evenings. It's 14 count Rustico fabric. So I should be able to, with the light, I shouldn't have any problem seeing that one. And the next weekend I'm going to restart the Death by Cross Stitch in 820 from DMC. And I might switch my filming day and my location. Because when I get home from work, my bedroom faces kind of northwest. So I have really good light in there in the evening. So I think when I get home from work, I might just put up my videos on a weekday, or at least film them on a weekday when the light is really good, and then get them posted maybe on the weekend or maybe the day that I do them. I'm not sure, but the light is really, really good there. That's another reason why I want to set up a stitching spot in the bedroom, is for in the evening with the sunshine coming in. It's really, really good light in the evening for stitching. So I'd like a comfortable chair to be able to sit up there and work on my cross stitch in the good light while we have it. So that's all I have for this week. Ask me any questions that you might have, leave any comments. Thank you for your likes and your comments and your subscriptions. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good stitchy week. Bye.